Greetings comic book fans and welcome to the Dude Cave. I'm Jason and you are watching Comic Haul Weekly, my weekly video where I've shared with you the new books that I've picked up this week. Originally, beginning of the week, it looked like it was going to be a medium-sized haul this week, but it ended up being a bigger haul, and we'll go through it, why it ended up so big. So I'm going to get straight into this. First up, we have 2000 AD, issue 1976, or 1976, which is the year I was born, so I was super happy to buy a comic that the number of the issue is the year that I was born. I thought that was really cool. I don't think there's any other comic on the planet that has numbering that high. But yeah, I've caught up now with 2000 AD, really enjoying the book. The downside of it is because you have 5 different strips. Sometimes you'll have 5 strips and you'll enjoy them more. Sometimes you'll have ones you're not so into. Like at the moment, the Judge Dredd story in here, I'm not really feeling that. And they've got another book story, let's have a look, Tainted, The Fall of Dead World, which I'm not really into. I'm finding it, I don't know much about the Dark Judges, and it's kind of, I think, supposed to be an origin story for them, I think. And because I don't know kind of the characters, I'm finding the story a bit difficult to get into and to understand. However, I really enjoy Survival Geeks, which is about these friends that live in this house, and the house kind of moves through different realities, and they're trying to get back to their reality, and they've met their counterparts from a reality where females are the dominant gender. So like everything is kind of like reversed, and so that's really interesting. But the planet they've landed on has been overthrown by mice, and mice are now kind of assessing, like, we thought we've wiped out all the humans and these humans have shown up, do we need to wipe them out? And like they're totally oblivious to this because they're meeting their counterparts who are also got a house that they're travelling through realities in. It's a really fun story. I'm really enjoying that one. And the other strip I'm really enjoying is Aguila, which is about this guy. It's set in Roman times, and he survived Spartacus's rebellion, and he wanted vengeance, so he called to the gods to kind of give him the power for vengeance, and a god answered, and like the cost of the vengeance is that he has to bring this god evil souls, so the god can feed off them. Now he wants kind of out of his deal. He's been in his deal long enough. He wants out, and this whole story is about him searching for a way to get out of this deal. So yeah, those 2 stories I'm really enjoying. Like the Aguila one, it's kind of interesting because you're kind of throwing in the supernatural and kind of sci-fi elements in with like Roman times, which is kind of a strange mix, but it works really well. The other strip we had a 3-part story, Targ's Thrillers, which is like a 3-part story. Now I think this issue, we've got a Future Shock story, which like Future Shock. It's usually like it's a one and done story. Sometimes new writers might send in a script and get it published, or sometimes you'll just have somebody come in and do like a one and done sort of story. So yeah, I'm enjoying this all overall. I think at the moment kind of the regular strips I'm 50-50 on, and it always makes up whether, but the good strips make up for the ones I'm not so into, and you know the ones you're not into, they're not going to go on forever. So I'm really enjoying 2000 AD. I kind of would like to review that in my review video, but I don't know how I'm going to fit it in, because I like this for personal preference. I like my review video to be around half an hour. No, I don't like to go much over that, because like everybody's busy and it's going to be difficult to sit down for like a 40-minute, an hour video. I could natter for an hour, but I don't really, you know, I want my videos to be more accessible and like easier to watch. So like I'm worried if I add that in to review, because there's like 5 strips in each issue kind of that would need their own kind of bit of a review. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how I'd fit it all in. We'll see. I'll look at that in the future. We then have, this was free from my comic book shop, DC Comics Previews. It's all the books that are coming out with Rebirth. It's a really good book. It goes through every single book. In some you have articles about some of them, and then in the back it's just like the Previews magazine. It goes through every like preview book that's coming out. So really good book. I think this is a really good idea to bring out. I think it was last year Marvel did a similar one for the books that were coming out after Secret Wars, when they were kind of relaunching a lot of the books. And I think it's a really great tool, because you look at it and you kind of might get more tempted on books that you wouldn't have got tempted on. So yeah, I think that's a really good idea to do something like that. Also free, I got this special Captain America book from my comic shop. It's like a magazine. They did one of these last year, but like it's fun. It goes through some of the classic Cap comics. It has character profiles and like all the different like allies and the villains of Captain America. You have a nice article on John Romita on the legacy of Jack Kirby. So like it's got some really good stuff in here by the looks of it. Yeah, then you've got like all the different villains that Cap's come across. You then have like a thing going through some of the Captain America stories, the top stories, and then in the back you have like a preview for Captain America Civil War and a look at the Black Panther. So yeah, for nothing, it looks a really good book. I would have paid, you know, a $5 for that and been happy. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with that, getting that free as well. So it was a good week for freebies this week from my comic book shop. Now getting into the books. First up, we have a creator-owned book called Blood. This is by Jo Krarek. I hope I pronounced her name right. Krarek, with art by Angus Menford. I don't really know much about the story. It's kind of like a horror book, but she's like a local writer, and she goes to my comic shop, and I've never ever with a creator kind of jumped on with their first book. It's kind of like you kind of discover them later, and then you might go back and read some of their older stuff. So I'm really interested to see this creative team of Menford and Krarek, where they're going to take this book and kind of see where they go in the future, and to sort of say, well, yeah, I remember I bought their first book, and kind of see that progression. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be the first comic I read this week. It's a black and white one, you know, because it's like, and they published them themselves. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. If you're interested in it, search that lady there, Krarek, Jo Krarek. If you search her on Twitter, you can buy the book from her direct. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to that, and I will be reviewing that one in my reviews. We then have Batman Superman, issue 31. This is part 2 of the Super League story. Superman is dying, or what's happened to him in the New 52 means that Superman we know is dying. The first part of Super League, which came out last week, he told Lana Lang and Lois Lane that he's dying, which were really great moments, great scene. I said great moments, I mean like they were emotional moments, and they really got across really well, and I think Peter Tomasi did a great job writing Superman in that story last issue. So Peter Tomasi writing this again, but this time on art we've got Doug Mackey, and I'm gathering from the cover maybe he's going to tell Batman, and it looks like it could be the Bruce Wayne Batman that he's going to tell I'm dying. But then I say that, but then it's like the original New 52 costume of Batman, not the new one. So I don't know if this is still going to be like a story from the past, which they've been doing lately. We then have Midnighter, issue 11. I seem to have missed this last week, I don't know why. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Midnighter. This and We Are Robins are the two books I'm going to miss the most when DC relaunch all their books with Rebirth, because I've really enjoyed these two books, and I'm looking forward to seeing Apollo come back. That should be good. We then have The Autumn Lands, issue number 10. Enjoying this book. We still got a lot of mystery about our main character, Leroy, and kind of what's going on there. Yeah, but it's a really good book. I've really enjoyed this, and each issue is a delight. We then have Jupiter's Circle, volume 2, issue number 5. I do like that cover. It looks like, you know, there's going to be some tension amongst teammates this issue. I think that's Blue Bolt and Sky Fox, I think they're called. I don't know. This is the only criticism of the comic. I would have liked, like, you know, on the inside cover, maybe each issue have the names of the characters. Because we don't get a lot of the time their superhero names. They'll talk to each other like calling it their real names. So it's like, it would be cool if we had that each issue. I think that would be a nice touch. But we're enjoying Jupiter Circle. Looking forward to seeing how that's going to end up. I don't know how many more issues we've got left of that. We then jumping over to Marvel. We have the Only All Different Avengers, issue number 8. This continues the standoff story. We saw last week they kind of were wiped of their memories and given these new identities. but then Rogue managed to kind of remember, and the whole team kind of getting back together, trying to find where all their equipment was when Cubic caught up with them. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen next. I felt last issue was the weakest part of Standoff so far, so I'm hoping this issue is going to pick up and get back to being the goodness that it has been so far. We have all new X-Men issue number 8. Is Cyclops dead? I doubt it, but it did look pretty bad for him last issue. This issue, he looks from the cover like Beast is going to call in Doctor Strange for some help. So, what's happened to Scott? Why is Beast called in Doctor Strange? I'm interested. I've been enjoying this book. I like at the moment each X book as its kind of own identity, and I think that's what you need to do when you've got multiple books coming out. We then have the Unbelievable Gwen Paul issue number 1. I tried this. I've not read this character before, but I'm gathering she's similar to Deadpool, and I'm really enjoying Deadpool right now. So I thought, you know what, give the first issue a go. It almost turned me off because it is $4.99, and I kind of wonder how many people that might have given this a go if it was a regular priced issue would give it a go when it's $4.99. I don't know how much impact that has on a character that hasn't got that big of a name, or having the Pool in the title. Is that going to kind of like people say, oh, is she like Deadpool? And with Deadpool, I'd imagine being more popular at the moment, is that going to be then where they justify their $4.99 price point, in that people will give it a go because it's Gwen Paul and they think, oh, is it similar to Deadpool? Or is it going to put people off? I'd love to know the answer to that, and I think the only way we'd know is to look at the sales for it and see where it comes when we get the sales for this month. We then have Moon Knight issue number 1. Jeff Lemire's writing this. I don't have that much history with Moon Knight. I think I read one trade with him in when David Finch was doing the art. Is it David Finch? I think David Finch. He did the art for it, and I know him from West Coast Avengers. So I haven't got that much history with Moon Knight, so I was interested to pick this up. I had a lot of good things about the last volume of this book. Plus Jeff Lemire at the moment, I'm loving a lot of his stuff, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. Again, this is $4.99, and I kind of wonder how many people, because it's not a major character, Moon Knight, how many people will be put off trying this book because it's $4.99. We will see, again, in the sales. Excuse me. We then have Silver Surfer issue number 3, celebrating the 50th anniversary, and this is the bonkers bit. You've got these first issues, right, of characters that aren't that well known, and they are $4.99. You've got this issue of Silver Surfer celebrating his 50th anniversary, and it's the regular price, regular length, and I'm kind of like, what? In a way, that's good that like Marvel aren't milking an anniversary for more money, but at the same time, you kind of think if there's any justification of doing a bigger issue, you've got 2 lesser characters there, and you're doing a bigger first issue. And then you've got this character who's really well known, and okay, maybe not Captain America, Spider-Man well known, but still he's well known and popular, because like, come on, he survived 50 years, you've got to be popular. And yeah, I kind of find it funny how it's just a regular issue. Not that I'm complaining, but yeah, really enjoying Silver Surfer right now. So look forward to getting into that. We then have Star Wars C-3PO issue number 1. This is, I think, a one-shot special. I believe it was like due out last year, and eventually now we've had the release. I don't know what the hold up was, but it's good that it's here at last. This book is supposed to tell us how he got his red arm, and I'm looking forward to finding that out. It's going to be interesting because I've never read a story with C-3PO alone. There's always been other characters there, like for example, even in Droids you had R2-D2 was always there with him, and really whenever he's shown up in shows like Clone Wars and what's the other one, Rebels, he's always had either R2-D2 or another character there. I've never seen him in a story all by himself, so this is going to be interesting. If he's going to be by himself, it's going to be interesting. Let's see, I think, is that chance? I'm trying to see who wrote this. Typical, you can't find where. Oh, here we go, at the back. They put them at the back just to throw me off. Yeah, it's James Robertson writing this. That should be good. I like James Robertson, with art by Tony Harris. So yeah, we'll see. If it's a C-3PO standalone book, I've never ever read him by himself, so that should be really interesting. Plus we find out how he got his red arm. We then have Star Wars Darth Vader, issue number 19. I found last issue, there was some good stuff, but I find Darth Vader is one of those characters you can't have in a monologue because it takes away that mystery. And you need for a book, it's very difficult for a book to tell a story without that kind of inner monologue kind of part of the story to get really in the character's head. So that's where Dr. Alpha was really nice to have that character in the book. And now that she's not in the book, you kind of find that element is missing here. And this whole story on this planet, while there's aspects I like about it, I'm kind of as well, I'm like, come on already, can we move on to the next bit? So we'll see. Hopefully this issue will get better, the story will get better. But I do love the covers. I think Darth Vader consistently has great covers, and another really great cover through it there. We then have Weird World issue number 5. Really enjoying this. I like the characters whose names off the top of my head I cannot remember. So we've got Becca Rodriguez is the main character, and she was on a plane to take her mother's ashes back to Mexico, and she ended up in Weird World, and she just wants to get to Mexico, back to Earth, go to Mexico and drop her mother's ash. So she's dealing with all that grief because her mum committed suicide, and she's angry at her mom and dealing with all of that. And she's met this wizard killer called, let's have a look. You can never find the names when you want them. Goletta, she's this wizard hunter. She hates wizards, and there was this wizard in the first issue that could get Becca back home, but then Goletta killed the wizard. The wizard now is in the body of this cat, and he's trying to, and has said that he can help them achieve what they want, give Goletta the power to kill wizards, more wizards, and Becca give her a way home, but they need to get him to a spare body he's got. So they are going on this journey, on this quest to get to to get this wizard a new body. So I've enjoyed it so far. It's been fun. Mike DeMundo's art is fantastic, and I think it's the winning part of the book. But I also kind of really like the character of Becca, and they've really grounded her and made her real. And I think it helps the book to work because you've got this weird stuff going on, but because the book at its core is centered on this character that you can really empathize with, it just makes it really work. So yeah, really enjoying Weird World right now. We then have X-Men 92 issue number 2. I love like the old retro kind of box there with the characters' heads. Takes me back to my childhood. All the Marvel books used to have those little boxes on back in the day. Yeah, I enjoyed the first issue of this. Reading reviews, I think I was in the minority. I think a lot of people liked it, but I think it got the tone right, and I enjoyed this as kind of its own kind of separate thing, you know. And reading these like what you'd consider like classic versions of these characters as well is really fun. We then have a new Doctor Who book out. It's issue 1 of the 9th Doctor Adventures. They did a mini. The mini did well, so now he's got his own book. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with this, because I think that mini-series really surprised me. I went into it not looking that forward. I don't dislike the 9th Doctor, but I wouldn't have him on a short list of my favourite Doctors. So I kind of went into it not that excited, but I ended up really enjoying that story. So if they do more of the same here, it should be good. And then we have The Adventures of Archer and Armstrong, issue number 2. Again, I really like that cover. I think it's the variant. I got this up off the shelf, and I did pick out this variant because I really liked this one. But yeah, I really enjoyed the first issue of this. It was a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to get the next one. And I've added it to my pull already because, yeah, I went in and not too sure about Archer and Armstrong. I came out really enjoying it. We then got Wrath of the Eternal Warrior, issue number 6. And we're still on the prelude to Labyrinth. So I don't know if we're stuck in the past, because like last issue I thought it was like a one-off prelude thing, but it seems like this arc is going to be a prelude to Labyrinth. So but yes, we'll see. I enjoyed Eternal Warrior, but I kind of last issue I thought it was a one-shot deal, and at this issue we're going to get back into the story of where Gilad ended up at the end of the last arc. And like, so I was a bit kind of, it surprised me. I didn't expect us to have another prelude issue. So, but I think once I've got around that, I do like Eternal Warrior. And I think the one strength of him, because he's lived so long, you can dip in and out of time periods and just tell stories with him, and it works because he's lived so long. So yeah, and so I'm looking forward to that one as well. I always look forward to a bit of Eternal Warrior. So those are my books for this week. I will be back most probably on Monday. I will find time Monday. I've ordered Star Wars Force Awakens on Blu-ray, so that should hopefully, fingers crossed, arrive in the post Monday. So I would divvy up my time between doing my comic reviews and watching that. I'm also kind of at the moment watching my way through the Blu-rays of Game of Thrones. Can you tell I got a Blu-ray player for my birthday? So yeah, like I'm not that much. Like, I used to be mad on DVDs, buying them all the time, but now with like stuff like Netflix and Amazon and WWE Network, the stuff that I would spend my money on buying, I can just watch when I want anyway. So I don't seem to spend as much on DVDs. I always want Star Wars and whatever's the thing at the time. I always get that. So for all the Star Wars films, and Game of Thrones, I just absolutely love. So those at the moment are the only things, and I want to get the Marvel movies, but I haven't even started getting them on Blu-ray yet. But other than that, I don't think there's a lot that I'm going to buy on Blu-ray. So yeah, I'm watching my way through Game of Thrones. I'm up to season 4. I've got, I think, 2 weeks, maybe just over 1 week, to get through seasons 4 and 5, and I've watched all the Blu-rays and caught up on the series. So it's when the season 6 starts. So. But I will find time amongst all my Blu-ray watching to do my reviews, so they should be up either Monday, Tuesday. I'll record it Monday, but they might be uploaded Tuesday. So yeah, so that will be up then. Reviewing the books that I got today. I hope you've all had a very good week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me those beautiful thumbs up so I know you've enjoyed what I'm doing. As I said, I'll be back on Monday. All that leaves to be said is that I'm Jason, come to you from the Dude Cave with Comic Hall Weekly. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.